What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hashtag GetGeeked Saturday. Thank you guys so much again for your support. Be sure to check out the new YouTube channel for Get Geeked. I've been posting a lot of my stuff there. All my back stuff is there. New stuff will be coming there, of course. Make sure you guys check us out. Whiskey Cinema every Sunday, 7 p.m. This week we're talking about Netflix movies, originals, and series as well. So make sure you guys tune into that. But for now, on hashtag Get Geek Saturday, we're going to talk about a game, a tabletop fantasy role-playing game. My favorite game, that's Dungeons & Dragons, or more lovingly referred to as D&D. If you guys have played this game, you know what it is. If you haven't, you just think it's something that nerds do, but you're wrong. It's something that we all should do because it's an amazing game and a great experience if you're with good people. I want to give you guys a little background on the game D&D. Of course, like I said, fantasy tabletop RPG, originally designed by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, first published in 1974 by Tactical Studies Rules Incorporated. They kept publishing it through 1997 when Wizards of the Coast, which is a Hasbro subsidiary company, had taken over, and they've been publishing the game ever since. Originally derived from the miniature war games with the variant rule setting from the 1971 game Chainmail. Which of course then they've just grown from there, and now it's this, as of late, thank you Stranger Things, has become this like global thing now. You know, you've got apps that help you with your characters, help you follow your characters, and give you your character sheets. You don't got to do it all on pen and paper anymore. I know some of you older fans will stick to the pen and paper. I personally use the D&D Beyond app, the player companion tool app. It's amazing. I can just do it all right there. Level up, gives you all the spells, everything. It's great. I'm a huge fan. I've gotten all my friends onto it too. I'm in a few games I play. I DM a few as well. I'm not as good at that. I'm getting better though. My family, I just recently got into one. If you follow the Whiskey Cinema, last week I believe I shouted them out for finally playing a game, and now we've played 2 sessions. Looking to start a third one here soon. So I'm very excited. I love this game. It's a fun game. You get to use your imagination if you like to create your own. If not, they've got all sorts of helpful books for this stuff. They've got books, cards that help you. They've got spell cards for every class, beast and creature cards, NPCs. If you're having a hard time coming up with your own NPCs, they've got cards for it that'll just give you random NPCs that you can put in your story, which I think is pretty cool. The adventure guides give you like a set story that you kind of go and follow through as the DM and do a few little things to make it your own. But it's like this the set adventure you can take your friends on, which I think is really cool. Source books are like whenever they come up with new stuff, they'll come out with a new source book. They kind of will go over some of the older stuff and bring in a few new things. Their most recent one, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, just released a month or so ago, 2 months ago. I bought it on the app so I could get all the items and races and everything that you can use from the book available for my D&D Beyond app. So that's a good way to do it. If you like the hardcover stuff, you like doing it pen and paper, of course. You can find these books at most any game shop. The other source books, your Dungeon Master Guide, if you're looking to become a new new DM for your campaign. You've got monster manuals, Xanathar's Rules for Everything or Guide for Everything. Again, just where they add spells and monsters and they finally give you stats for them, and they come out with these things all the time. They have a new one coming out, mystery. It's an adventure guide with 17 smaller adventures based around mystery and like solving, for lack of a better term, crimes and things like that. So that one will be pretty cool to look into. They've come out with quite a few other books for this, like some of the original, like legendary characters like Drizzt is, I want to say, a drow or a dark elf that goes on these adventures, and they have these like novels written out for these characters and a few others that I know that I can't come up with the name right now. But they've had these for since like the game came out. So those are pretty cool to look into. One I did want to bring up though, before I get to my D&D collaborations, which I think is pretty cool. But they came out with in October of 2020. It's called Heroes Feast. It's the D&D cookbook, just like any other cookbook, and you'll make regular things, but they'll give it awesome D&D names. Or they have given it awesome D&D names. So I think that's a really cool thing, and I'm sure they made money on it. So good for them. I need to get it, by the way, Amanda. Remember that. Before I get into the movies, because there is a movie coming out within the next 2 years. Before I get into that, I want to get into some of their collaborations they've done. Rick and Morty, such a huge thing in the geek world. Even the non-geeks, like Rick and Morty is just a great show. Hilarious, adult as can be, but hilarious. They have done a one-shot, pre-rolled characters, Dungeons and Dragons Rick and Morty. Rick's a wizard, Morty's a rogue, he's the assassin, which I think is pretty funny. So they've done a few of these things. They have a new one coming out based off the Stranger Things show. Now, I haven't read much into it. I don't know if they're like taking it from what the game they were playing in the show, or if they're just basically throwing a Stranger Things label on it to make money. Either way, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm probably going to get it. Lastly, movies. Now, if you're a D&D fan, they don't have a good track record with their movies. You've had 3, 2000, 2005, 2012. Joe Manganiello, or however you say his last name, I'll never be able to pronounce it, is a huge fan of these. I want to say he was in the last 2. He might have been in all 3. But they just weren't good movies. The guy's got a heart of gold. He loves the game. He wants to be in these movies, but they just weren't good. I'm really hoping come May 27th of 2022, they finally get it right. And I think they will. They've got 2 guys behind this who have a great track record, and I'm really looking forward to it. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein are helming this. Like I said, though, guys, that's the last thing I wanted to get to. Go out there, play a campaign with your friends, run through an adventure book, make up your own game. Get out there and play some D&D, guys. It really is such a fun game. I know I love it, and I'm excited to get back out there and play. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you guys again so much. Remember to subscribe and like my YouTube page for Get Geeked Saturday, and make sure you guys tune in every Sunday. Follow Whiskey Cinema on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We go live every Sunday. We are now working with The Buzz. Thank you guys again so much. We're excited for the collaboration to see what we can do with this and how far we can take it. But for now, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much. Stay geeky.